Hey everyone, this video is my 2D game entry for the selection program of the Java Institute. This game is based on a nature concept as a tribute to nature conservation. The software used to create this game is Visual Studio Code. I have named my game Ninja Adventure and the character I have used is a purple ninja. When taking a look at our starting page, we can see there is a slight animation in the title, which causes the title to move up and down. And below our title, you can see the start button as well as the instruction button. The title and the buttons were created by me using external resources, and these buttons are given sound effects as well. When clicking the instruction button, you will be met with this particular interface, which shows you the needed keys for the game as well as their respective commands. The exit button located down below can be used to exit this interface like this. Moving on to our starting button, once clicked, you will see our ninja appear in the screen in its idle form. This animation is done to make it seem like the character is breathing. Apart from the character, we can also see that the score, which is 0 currently, has appeared in the top left corner, as well as an instruction to start the game has appeared in the center of the screen. As per the given instruction, let's click on the enter button and see how our game works. As you saw earlier, once the enter key is pressed, our character started to run. And to avoid the flame obstacles which came in the way, the character was made to jump using the space key. Lastly, we saw the game come to an end once our ninja died by crashing into one of the flame obstacles. All these animated actions were given sound effects to make the game more engaging. Died, we are met with the end screen, which shows us our dead ninja and the score we have earned in the game. Below the score, we can see a try again button, which was also created by me using external resources. Once we click this try again button, we will be taken back to the starting page so we can restart the game. Let's take another run and take a second look. Moving on to our Visual Studio Code, take a look at the codes. We can see there are 3 windows, which are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. In the HTML section, I have started my program with the version tag, followed by the starting tag of the head and the HTML. I have given a title to my web page as Ninja Run inside the title tag, and I have linked my CSS file below it using a self-closing tag named link, which is followed by the closing tag of the head. Next, we have the body starting tag. I have used these commands in the body tag to assist me in further actions of the game. Next, we have the div tag, which is used to store all the elements and commands which will be needed in the HTML program, as well as the class and ID for the background we use in the game. Inside the above said div tag, I have linked given classes and IDs to the images which I'll be needing in the game using self-closing image tags like this. Below the image tags, I have opened a starting div tag which will hold the elements used in the starting page, which are the game title, the respective buttons, as well as the instruction page and the idle screen, along with their classes, IDs, and respective texts. Below that, there is another div tag open for the score. Next, we have the div starting tag for the end screen. This is also created the same way I created the starting. And lastly, just above the closing tag of the body, I have linked my JavaScript using the script tag. And then we have the closing tag of the body and HTML. On to the CSS file, which I use to style and lay out my web page. We can see the codings I use for the body and for the background image. Next, we can see the CSS which I have applied to a character, the ninja, and its actions, following the other CSS codings which were used for the elements in the starting page, like the buttons, the instruction page, and the name tag. And then we have the codings I used for the block. Just above the CSS codings I used for the end screen and its respective elements. Lastly, we have the JavaScript coding of the game. First and foremost, all the sound effects used in the game are linked along with the JavaScript coding for the background sounds. Then we have the start, instruction, and X functions, which are used when the respective buttons, which are start, instruction, and exit, are clicked. Below that, we have the variables and functions for the idle animation. That we have the key check functions, which are connected with the keys which we are using in the game, also known the enter key and the space key. Next, we have the variables and functions for the run animation and the jump animation. After that, we can see the variables and functions used for the background, score, and block, which were used and animated to make the game more interactive. Then we are met with the dead function and its variables, which comes before our final function of our program, which is the reload function. The final function reloads the page so you can restart the game. This is the end of my presentation of the game. I take this opportunity to thank all the instructors of the Java Institute who taught us excellently and supported us in order to complete this project very successfully. Credits to all the artists who published the resources which were used by me to create this game. And lastly, thank you for watching my game. Hope it gave you the motivation to create your own. Thank you.